What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 BMW M440i xDrive. Huge thank you to Julius Green over at BMW of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular M440 or any BMW product, I'll be sure to have Julius's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. The sun is on its way down and it is definitely getting a little bit chillier outside. So just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 BMW M440i xDrive. And this particular one has been painted in the optional $650 Portimao blue metallic, which to me just looks like a classic BMW color. But I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, the M440 now gets panoramic screen displays on the interior as well as a new toggle shifter. Other than that, it's pretty similar to the 2023 model year. Personally, for me, not quite sure how I feel about the screen displays on the interior, which I'll get into as we progress along in this video. But as standard with the M440i, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. This one just so happens to be optioned with the $400 shadow line package, which gives you this black headlight bezel. So you can see the headlight itself is black, and I think that just looks a lot sportier than it otherwise would be without the shadow line package. But taking a step back, let's take in the entire front end of the M440. That is what she looks like here at the front end. You can see you have your BMW logo located at the center of the front end, and then coming down just a little bit, you get a mix of black and gray for your kidney grille. So you can see like these little pieces all throughout here are all like that kind of gray chrome, I guess is how I would describe it. And then again, this vehicle's been optioned with the shadow line package, and with the shadow line package, you get the gloss black grille surround. So this would otherwise be kind of like the same gray that you find there, but with the shadow line package, that turns that into gloss black. And then also with that shadow line package, these trim pieces are also gloss black, whereas again, they would otherwise be that gray color that you find on those like kind of dots for your kidney grille. But this vehicle's been optioned up, so bear with me. This vehicle has also been optioned with the $700 parking assistance package, which gives you this forward-facing camera, and that forward-facing camera works with your 360-degree view camera system that again comes with the parking assistance package. Also included in that package, you get 6 forward-facing sensors as well. Now, as you may be able to tell, this is a pretty angular front bumper. You got a lot of the design traits going on, so you got like this angle right here. It all kind of comes to right here, that kind of goes up, then you get another angle here. And I just did a video with a 2024 BMW X3, and what I was saying in that video is that I think that was peak BMW, and in my opinion, I honestly think that the M340 looks better with the smaller kidney grille as opposed to this. Again, that's my personal opinion. I know this has kind of been a hot topic since this kidney grille came out, but that's just the way that I feel. You know, as time has gone on, I still prefer the smaller kidney grille. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. But moving on from there, you also do get gloss black outer grills, so that just comes standard with the M440 in gloss black. Same thing on that side, and I do believe that this is also gloss black as standard with the M440. But coming down the side, you get a side marker light right here. And then this particular vehicle has been optioned with the $550 adaptive M suspension, which is a must-have option if you are getting an M440. I don't see how you could get the M440 without the adaptive M suspension. And quite honestly, I don't know how the adaptive M suspension doesn't just come standard with the M440. I think it should. Again, just throwing out my personal opinion. I'm sure there are a lot of people that agree with me, especially considering it's only $550. BMW, just include that with the M440. But with that little rant out of the way, speaking of the front end design, like I said, I think I prefer the smaller kidney grille of the M340 to the M440. I do believe though, with the M4 and the M3 with the bigger kidney grills, I do believe those things look pretty good. However, there is an aftermarket grille that makes it just look a little bit better, but just a little bit too big on the front end. Other than that, I love the design of this vehicle. But coming down the side, this one has been optioned with the $600 19-inch M double spoke black wheels that are wrapped in 225/40 Pirelli Cinturato P7 all-season tires. So you can get these wheels wrapped in summer performance tires for the same price. This one just so happens to be optioned with the all seasons, and I do believe the all seasons are kind of small. You know, I think it would have been you know, I would have expected a bigger tire, at least out at the rear, maybe like a 245, but it's a 225 out back as well, which is kind of surprising to me. If you are not a fan of the way that these wheels look, there are a few other wheel options that you can choose from. And then again, speaking of the Shadowline package, you get these M Sport brakes with the red calipers. So essentially, with the Shadowline package, you get larger rotors, you get larger brake pads as well, and then you also get this red caliper with the M script. So that is what that looks like. I think that is definitely worth it. And then that's another view of the wheel. You can see you get the M right there on the wheel itself. Then you also do get rain sensing wipers as standard with this vehicle. And then also with the M Shadowline package, you get gloss black mirror caps as standard. These side view mirrors come with integrated turn signals. They are heated, power folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming, and then you get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror on that side. And then again, this vehicle has been optioned with the parking assistance package, which gives you the 360-degree view camera system, and this is the camera for the 360-degree view camera system, and obviously you get one on that side as well. Now I'm going to step back and show you a little side profile shot of this thing. I love the way that this thing looks from the side, and in my opinion, it looks like a baby M8. I mean, that's just kind of the best way to describe it, or a baby 8 Series M850i if we really want to get technical. But especially, I see the 8 Series especially back here. Again, let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with what I'm saying with the 8 Series here at the back? You do get gloss black window trim with the M440, as well as body color door handles with keyless access. You also do get a welcome light. So there is a little light right there that shines, and they actually call it your welcome light mat. So it's basically like a light mat that illuminates this area at night to make it a little bit easier to see what you're stepping into or out of if you are stepping into your M440. And then at the bottom, you can see you get these body color side skirts. They are rather aggressive with the M440. Here's a little view here from the front of those side skirts. I'll give you another view from the rear. I like the little angle and the little protrusion that you get right here where it comes out. I think, again, that just adds to the sporty design of the M440. And here in this light, the color kind of looks purplish. So that's what I really like about certain BMW colors, is that they change dependent on sun. You know, it's not just BMW colors, but this color in particular looks kind of purple here in person, but then it looks blue here in the direct sunlight. So it's kind of purplish, it's kind of blue, and it's kind of looking purple on the top as well, especially like this area. So I really like this color, if you can't tell, but you get a body color antenna up top there. You also get a rear window defroster. Your third brake light is back there as well. With the Shadowline package, instead of this being body color, with the Shadowline package, it turns the subtle spoiler to the gloss black color. So that is that. Again, if you didn't get the Shadowline package, this would just be your body color spoiler. And then coming around back, here's a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. You do get LED taillights as standard. And then coming around to the back end, let's do a little booty shot. That is what she looks like here from the back. You can see you have your BMW logo located at the center of your trunk. Then you also have your backup camera integrated into the BMW logo. You get your gray badging with the xDrive badging. That badge right there is going to cost you $2,000 over the rear wheel drive variant of the M440. And on the right hand side of your trunk, you get the gray M440 badging. And then just beneath your BMW logo, if you put your hand underneath here, you'll feel a little pad. If you press on that pad, your trunk will open up. And considering the size of this vehicle, I'd say this actually has a pretty respectable sized trunk. You get a storage cubby here, you get a storage cubby on this side as well. And then if this is not enough space in the trunk for you, you can also pull on this. You can pull on this, and that's going to drop your second row seats and give you an additional 3.5–4 feet of storage space when you have to carry around larger items. And then these are the standard carpeted floor mats that you get. They are black. This is what they look like. I know it's not the best view, but that's about as good as it's going to get. And then I tried to lift this thing up, but I can't seem to get a good hold of it. So I can't tell you what is underneath here. But yeah, I do believe you have to like screw this off. Actually, no, you don't. So I don't know how to access underneath there. That's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. Closing that trunk back up, we're gonna come down just a little bit, and you can see on the outsides of the rear bumper, you get some black trim down in there. You get some more black trim over here, and again, you get that sporty design language with that black trim and that angle right there on the bumper. It kind of looks like a C shape. You get 2 reflectors here on the rear bumper. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this vehicle has been optioned with the parking assistance package, so you get another 6 parking sensors back here. You also get a gloss black rear valance as standard with the M440, so no matter if you get the Shadowline package, doesn't matter, you always are going to get this gloss black rear valance back here. And then again, with the Shadowline package, you do get black chrome exhaust tips. So here's a view of the black chrome exhaust tips. Not going to come up all that well because of the dust from the parking lot, but you can see, if you know what black chrome is, anyway, you get the black chrome exhaust tips. You also get this rather aggressive rear diffuser. And then obviously with the M440, you know what makes the M440 is its M Sport differential. And then you also do get standard launch control with the M440 as well. So this might not be, you know, a total balls to the wall M car, but you still get the M Sport differential, you still get launch control, and with the $550, you get the adaptive M suspension. So you can tune this thing and you can make it pretty darn quick. It might not be, you know, as tunable or as power friendly, I guess you could say, as the M3, but again, these things are very quick out of the box. And then popping this thing open right here, you got your filler neck. Shell quality fuels are recommended. How much did BMW or Shell pay BMW to put their sticker on there? And then it does require, or it asks for 89 octane minimum, but it does recommend 91. But really, yeah, that's about it for this vehicle. Here's a nice little walk around for you who want to see the entire vehicle around. This is what she looks like. Yeah, that's kind of about it for the exterior. So with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3-liter twin power turbo inline 6-cylinder that works with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Total output is 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 4.3 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 22 miles per gallon in the city, 31 miles per gallon on the highway for 25 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. Again, if you did want all-wheel drive is going to cost you an additional $2,000 over the rear-wheel drive variant of the M440. But if you live in a colder climate, or if you just want to do 0 to 60 launches all the time, then you're probably going to want to look into getting the all-wheel drive. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I can't get there without your support. I put a lot of effort into making these videos. I put a lot of time into making these videos. So I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the video, and if you've learned anything from this video, just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. But anyways, with that stuff said, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across those 3 hash marks right there, and now the vehicle is locked. I did want to walk you through a couple of the functions on the key fob, as well as what the key fob looks like. So at the top, you have your unlock function. The BMW logo is your lock function. You have your trunk pop function, and then you have your panic function at the bottom. You also have the BMW M colors on the side of the key fob. Now let's take a look at the interior, shall we? So popping open the door, this is what the interior looks like. So this vehicle's been optioned with the $1,500 Tacora red Vernasca leather interior. The leather, or the red leather, excuse me, matches very nicely to the exterior paint color. So this is a very nice spec in my opinion. But taking a look at our door panel, you get some black vinyl at the top of the door panel. This vehicle has also been optioned with the $875 Harman Kardon premium sound system. So you get your fancy Harman Kardon speaker up top here. Then coming down just a little bit, you get some more of that red leather down here. You get your door handle, your unlock and your lock functions. You get some ambient lighting. Right now it is lit up in blue. Then you get a speaker down here, 2 memory seat adjustment settings, a nicely padded armrest. You get some accent colored stitching. You have your power side view mirror controls. Pressing on this button right here is going to power fold in or out your side view mirrors. And then you get automatic up and down windows in the front. You get some storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and then this is also another trunk pop function. So you have the one on the key fob, you also have the one right there. And then with the M440, you get this brushed aluminum M door sill. I'm not sure why the M is not picking up on camera. Now it is, but this is much larger than what you get in like a, you know, M340, just because these doors on the M440 are much larger. But now this is what your interior looks like. You do get power front seats with power lumbar. I do believe it is 4-way power lumbar. And this is what those seat controls look like. I do believe you can also adjust the bolstering with these buttons right here as well. Now, stepping on into the interior, this is what is new for 2024. So now you get a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster and a 14.9-inch infotainment screen. And again, I'll get into that here in a second. But first things first, I'm going to close the door, and then I want to take a listen to what this thing sounds like starting up from the interior. So all I'm going to do is push my foot on the brake, push to start. Nice little aggressive startup noise with this thing, which is very, very cool. And then one thing that's also interesting is take a look. See how that thing pops out? That is just a nice little friend that you got there, so you don't have to be reaching like, oh, I can't reach it, because it's just right there. That's a nice little feature that I appreciate, little things like that. But yeah, you can see you get the ambient lighting throughout the interior here. Very nice looking, makes the vehicle feel premium. But over here, you have your HVAC vent, and then these are your headlight controls. So right now, the headlights are in the automatic position. This is headlights off. This is headlights on, this is parking lights on, and then you can turn the parking lights on individually. So I can turn on the driver's side parking light individually from the passenger side parking light, or vice versa. This is also to brighten your gauge cluster as well as dim your gauge cluster and your backlit buttons. Coming over to here, if you flip that down, that will give you access into your tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring the steering wheel towards you, and then you can also move the steering wheel up and down until you find your comfortable position. Once you find your comfortable position, you can lock it back into place just by pushing back up on that. You can see some ambient lighting down there. You get these fancy looking pedals down here as well. They're the aluminum, they got the rubber grip, and then you can see the M on the dead pedal over there. I really like the way that these pedals look. And then you get a floor mounted accelerator. Let's take a listen. Love the way that this thing sounds. It sounds really, really good. And once you get it warm, you get some nice crackles and stuff. But now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on this vehicle. And then zooming back out, you can see you get a leather wrapped steering wheel, and then this steering wheel is also heated, but you do get the heated steering wheel, a part of the $1,350 premium package. Also included in that $1,350 premium package, which I should have said earlier, you also get heated front seats. So heated front seats, the heated steering wheel, as well as the head-up display system all come a part of the premium package. So to turn your heated steering wheel on, you push this button right here, and it lets you know that the heated steering wheel is activated or deactivated, dependent on whether you push the button on or off. But just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the M440, and I just really like the way that BMW steering wheels look. I don't know if I'm crazy, but there's no way I'm the only one who can just appreciate the way a BMW steering wheel looks, feels, and just performs. You know, I really like the way that it looks and feels, and also the way that it performs when you're steering. It's got a really nice grip in pretty much all you know, aspects of where you can grab it. But obviously M440, you also get the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, you get the downshift on the left, you get the upshift on the right, and then coming back over to here, actually I'm gonna get into that here in a second. So basically on this side of the steering wheel, you have your cruise control settings, and then this is your speed limiter. So basically you can set a speed. So let's say you set it for 80 miles an hour. Basically, it's not going to let you go over 80 miles an hour. It's actually a pretty good thing if you like to speed. But yeah, coming back over to here, these are your volume controls. This is to go back on a track. This is to go forward on a track. But then these also do different things when you can control, or when you control this screen here, which I'll show you in a second. And then when you click on this phone button, that's going to pop up your phone stuff on the screen on your head-up display system. That will also pick up and or hang up on a phone call. And then clicking on this is also going to pop up stuff on your digital gauge cluster, and then that is to speak to the vehicle. Clicking back out of that, you see this BC button. Basically, when you click on that BC button, it's going to switch what you see here at the center of the display. So I'm clicking the BC button. You can values since individual, values for this trip, values since refuel, values since factory, and then values since individual, and then so on and so forth. You can also see your odometer there, and then that is the current trip, I do believe. And then zooming back out of that, I want to go throughout this gauge cluster here. So like I mentioned, this is the 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster. And on this digital gauge cluster, if I click this button right here, you can adjust the contents that you see on the gauge cluster. So right now it's showing trip data. This is going to be route preview. Then you can see your map stuff. So basically give it a second. Now it's popping up the map. Then you can see your G meter. You can see your media stuff. Come back one more. Basically, I'm just scrolling down on the scroll knob here, and then that's it. So you get your radio media stuff, you get your G meter, your map stuff, your route preview, trip data, and then you can also do reduced, which is basically just the M and the digital speedometer readout. Clicking over to the right, it's going to bring you into your layout. So basically, you have this layout here. Then you can go into this layout, shows you your power over here. Basically, if you floored it, it's going to be 100% power. You get your speedometer over there. Coming down one more. Oh, shoot. Coming down one more, then you get this interesting looking screen. It's like a hockey stick. You get your speed over there. Personally for me, I probably leave it on this because I really like to see the tack. And then one more thing I wanted to show you is the head-up display. So you can pop over to the head-up display and you can basically see right now standard view. And then there's directional view, which basically just gives you your compass and your digital speedometer readout, as well as your speed limit sign. Then there's the sport view, which displays the tachometer on the screen. Then there's the reduced view, which is just the digital speedometer readout and the speed limit sign. So again, tons of adjustability with both this and that. But basically, I'm just gonna show you this screen because I think this is the screen that a lot of you will be in, because this is the screen that it comes with from factory. So over here, you got the speedometer, digital speedometer readout, tachometer over here, you get your coolant status stuff, ambient exterior temperature, transmission status stuff, lets you know who's buckled. This is the speed limit sign, current time, your fuel gauge, and your fuel range. Again, you can go throughout all of those different screens, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. That would make this video very long, and this video is already going to be long. So coming over to here, like I said, you get rain sensing wipers as standard. So if I flip this up once, now the rain sensing wipers are on. You see that little green light right there where it says auto. That means that the windshield wipers basically will turn themselves on and off, as well as adjust the intensity dependent on how hard it is raining. So I like to leave it in automatic. And then you can also adjust the sensitivity of that. So if you want them to be really sensitive, you'd flip this all the way up to fast, and so on and so forth. So coming over to here again, this is your iDrive 8 14.9 inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. Right now, this is basically your home screen. You get your navigation stuff, your media stuff, your telephone stuff, personal assistant, traffic, you get your values, your route preview, and then you can add another one of these. These are called widgets. I'm gonna go back into the home stuff. One thing I have a gripe about this screen, and it's not necessarily just the screen, but it is. Why, BMW, would you put the climate control stuff, every climate control function on the screen? You guys had it great with your last generation car when it had the physical controls down here with the volume control knob, the tuning control knob, all your preset radio stations, your climate control stuff. Bring that stuff back. I know I'm not the only one who appreciates that. So, if you're watching this video and you're a buyer of this car, you like BMWs, let me know in the comments down below if you prefer the physical controls to the controls on the screen for your climate control system, because I do believe that the manufacturers watch and read the comments on like review videos, because they're trying to see what you guys want. So if you prefer the physical climate control buttons and stuff, let me know in the comments down below. We're going to try to change this back. We're starting a movement. Again, let me know in the comments down below if you prefer the physical climate controls, because this is what you got to deal with otherwise. So basically you got your fan speed here, you got your directional stuff here, and it's too difficult when it could just be a physical button. You know what I mean? You can't just like, I mean, you can click it, and it is easier to do than I'm kind of giving it credit, but just give me the physical buttons. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much easier. So again, you do get heated front seats with the premium package. And then this is just your physical, or this is just your climate control stack here. You get your temperature controls down here, but the climate menu button is always on the screen. No matter what you go into, you're always gonna have the climate menu down here. I'm making a big stink about it just because I am who I am. But this is basically your menu. So this is your back screen. You can see all of these different things that you can go through out here. But basically, if you don't want to spend the time looking through all that stuff, click here, you get the browse menu button. Let's say you wanted to go into Sirius XM. You can type in Sirius XM and it's gonna pop that up. Let's say you wanted to go into like driver assistance stuff. You can go into drive, and then you can go to your driving settings. So basically this just makes it easy. All you gotta do is type it in. But one thing that I noticed about this screen here is that, let's say you're listening to music, listen to this. You hear every time I click, you hear that little beep. Basically every time you do that click, if you're listening to music, it lowers the music. So that's just something that I noticed. But then you get your basically shortcut buttons, so you can shortcut into your audio stuff. You can shortcut into your phone stuff here. You can shortcut into your navigation stuff. You can shortcut into your Apple CarPlay, which is what this is on screen right now. So basically that's about it for that screen. You get your time over there. Very easy to use screen. It is easy to use. It's just easier to have physical climate controls. I'm just gonna keep complaining about that. However, you do get a physical volume control knob here, but at least we have that. Then you get these two HVAC vents here, and to control this screen here, you do have this physical control. So you can go throughout this screen by twisting it. You can see I'm controlling through it this knob here. If I wanted to jump over to here, all I got to do is click this over to the right, and now I'm controlling what we got going on over here. If I want to go back into that, I click over to the left, and now I can control there. If I wanted to go into climate control stuff, I'd flip down, and now actually I guess I can't flip down. I guess I could flip over. No, you can't control the climate with this controls here. But anyway, this is all your shortcut buttons. Shortcut into radio or media, phone, home, telephone, map, navigation. So basically you get your home button, it's gonna bring you into your home screen. You got your media button, it's gonna bring you to your media stuff. You get your telephone button here, it's gonna bring you into your phone stuff. And then you get your navigation, so on and so forth. This is your home button. That is that. Then you get a wireless charging pad as standard. You can see some of that ambient lighting down in there faintly. Again, wireless charging pad, USB-A port. You get a 12-volt power outlet for your, you know, what's it called? What am I thinking? Radar detector. 2 cup holders there. This is to turn traction control on or off. This is to pop up your camera system. This is to turn your parking sensors on or off. This is your push button start button. This is your toggle gear shifter, which is new for 2024. If you wanted to go into reverse, push your foot on the brake, push forward, that's reverse. See? Go into drive, pull back, that's gonna put you into drive. If you wanna go into sport mode / manual mode, pull back one more time, that's gonna put you into S1. If you put yourself into sport mode, now with S1 and sport mode, you are now in Sport Plus mode. So that is what that does. Push that button one more time, that's gonna put you back into park. Then these are your different drive modes. You get Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. That is to turn the vehicle on or off. Push P to go into park. This is your electronic parking brake. Pull up on that, and now the parking brake is engaged. That lights up in red when the parking brake is engaged. If you wanted to disengage the parking brake, all you got to do is push your foot down on the brake and then push back down on that. Now the parking brake is disengaged. Then this is your auto hold function. Basically, if you're tired of holding your foot down on the brake when you're in traffic, if you have this button on, basically the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. But right now you can see, now it is on, it's lit up in green. If I click it again, it turns back off. But let's say I'm in drive and I have the auto hold function and I click it, but it's holding the vehicle in place. It's not gonna let you turn itself, it's not gonna let you turn it back off until you push your foot on the brake and then push it again, and then it will let you turn it back off. But Coming over to here, you get a leather wrapped and padded armrest. Opening up the armrest, you get a USB-C port down in there, you get a light, and then you get a little bit of storage space. I'd say you get about 4 inches of depth down in there. So just be mindful of what you set in here, because you don't have that much space down in there, but you can fit what you need to in there. Then you get some silver trim throughout here. You get some ambient lighting that flows throughout the dash and the door panel. You get a lockable lower glove box. You can fit what you need to down in that glove box. It is also an illuminated glove box. You can see you got this thing over here. I do believe, okay, so this is your BMW digital key. That is what it looks like. Pretty cool. Closing that back up, you get an auto dimming rear view mirror with your universal garage door opener on the bottom. So if you own a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up those garage bays individually with these 3 different buttons here. Driver gets a light, passenger gets a light, both of which are LED. This is your instant dome light on button, turns on all the interior dome lights. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. This comes standard with a power sunroof, so I click that back, it's gonna roll the shade back, then the sunroof should slide back open. Let's see how far the sunroof opens up, and let's see if we can get it to go further back. Nope, that's as far as it goes, and it also does tilt as well. Just give it a second. Basically, it'll go up like that. All you gotta do to do that is push up, and now it is tilted. Now we're just gonna close that back up, and that is that. Get your SOS button here. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light. You also get a spot you can set any little paper product. And then these visors slide forwards and backwards, just not very much, but they do slide forwards and backwards. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So very nice that you can adjust the bolsters in or out depending on if you're thick or if you're thin. I'm on the thinner side. I also like that. It's my little friend. It helps me out and helps me get my seatbelt on. Moving on from there, a couple things I wanted to go over. I'm gonna go over the options that this has. So this has the $875 Harman Kardon premium sound system. If you like listening to music, you should get that. This also has the $1,350 premium package, which gives you heated front seats, the heated steering wheel, and the head-up display system. If you like heated seats, you like the head-up display, get that package. If you want to skip it, you can skip it. And then this also has the $700 parking assistance package, which gives you the 360-degree view camera system, the front and rear parking sensors, as well as the Parking Assistant Plus. Basically, what the Parking Assistant Plus does is that it'll find a parallel or a perpendicular parking spot, and it will steer you into that parking spot. All you have to do is modulate the brakes. And then last but not least, I wanted to go over just a couple standard things. So as standard, you get the sunroof, you get the wireless charging pad, you get the tri-zone climate control system, and you also get launch control as standard. So if you like to drive fast, launch control is standard with the M440i. Like I said, tri-zone climate control. So you have your climate control things back here for the rear. And you also get a center fold down armrest in the rear. Storage space, you get some speaker there, same stuff over there. I'm not going to get into the rear. I already got into the rear. I was 5'9", and I wasn't quite having to slouch, but my head was pretty much nearly touching the roof. So if you're 5'10", you're going to be touching the roof, and if you're 6'3", you do not want to be in those rear seats. But now I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at whatever you want to, the optional stuff, the standard stuff, but basically I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 M440i xDrive is spec'd is $71,370. That's definitely a lot of money, but it is a really nice vehicle after all. You know, it is. I did gloss over a couple things. You got your volume controls, your tuning controls, your hazard button, max defroster for the front, and then you got your rear defroster there. But yeah, a lot of money, but you get a lot of car for the money. Sounds pretty dang good. And when you open this thing up, which I haven't really opened it up, like I haven't floored it yet, they sound really, really good. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I know you want to see what this thing's like to drive. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, where I always start my videos here. We go over the speed bumps at 5 miles an hour. Let's try to get to 5. I am in sport mode. I'm gonna throw it in comfort mode, and we're gonna see how well it goes over these speed bumps in comfort mode. So that was sport mode. Wasn't really an accurate description. For what it is, it's going to get an 8 flat on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to go back into sport mode. I feel like this thing has pumped in audio because it got like immediately louder, going from comfort to sport mode. But basically, this thing's a lot of fun to drive. You know, I know it's not an M4, but you're saving a lot of money with this thing, and it is still plenty fast. Trust me, it is very quick. You know, if you're not a fan of the grill, they do have aftermarket options. Like, you could get the same grill that they have on the M3, M4. It's like an aftermarket grill. It's a smaller kidney grill, but it looks really good. So if you're not a fan of the grill, you can always change it aftermarket. It's really not that big of a deal. But just take a listen. This should sell you. It's just insanely quick. It's insanely quick. For not being an actual M car, it's an M sport car. It is insanely quick, and it sounds very good. Very good it sounds, even at low RPMs. It is a great sounding vehicle. When you get it high up into the RPMs, which I don't want to get it super high up into the RPMs, even though I really do, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. It's just a great sounding engine. You know what I'm saying? It really is. I do believe that this is the B58, and I do believe that the M3, M4 / X3M all get the S58, which is a glorious sounding engine. And these things sound very similar to that. One of my dad's buddies has a X3M competition, and I've driven that extensively. And that is really kind of what opened my eyes to the BMW brand, and that is kind of when I fell in love with BMWs, was after driving that here. I fell in love with BMWs after driving that X3M competition because it was so good. It did things that an SUV should never be able to do. It could handle. It sounded amazing, and it was a rocket ship. I mean, it literally was a rocket ship, and that's what I still call it to this day. It's a rocket ship. And I've driven a lot of fast stuff since driving that car, and every time I get into that thing, I'm like, this thing is a rocket ship. For the money, you can't beat it. Now I'm gonna give you another little acceleration because I want to feel it, and I want to hear it, and I know you want to hear it. So here, I like when you let off, it does just the classic BMW little crackle. Take a listen to what it sounds like going over these bridge joints. Listen to the wind noise. So even though it's a sporty car, it's still refined, and that is why it's a BMW. You know what I'm saying? BMW, they can do it. And it's the same thing with like the X3 M40. You know, if you're not wanting the outlandish looks of an M4 or an M3, but you still want something that's like quick, and I mean quick, that's where like the M440i comes in, because it is properly quick, but it doesn't necessarily have the overstated looks of the M4. Personally, for me, I love the overstated looks of the M3, the M4, and the X3M. But I can understand those who, you know, just want to be more low-key, you know, and this is that car for you. You know, it's low-key looking. So if you don't want all the attention, but you still want the fun car to drive, you still want the sound, you still want, you know, the look, because this still has the look. It just doesn't have the outlandish looks, the look at me looks of, you know, the M3 and the M4. So this is for those of you who want to be understated. The M3, M4 is more overstated. So this is understated while still giving you that performance and that drive that you're looking for. Again, just wanting the understated looks. That is where this comes in. I got a nice little E30 right there. So yeah, I mean, it can do it all. My only real gripes with this vehicle are the infotainment system. But here's another little acceleration. Again, that's only to 5,000 RPM. This thing still will wind up to about 7. So just to let you know, it is very quick, even up to 5,000 RPM, you know? So if you want to even have more fun, you wind it all the way up, but I'm not going to do that. But I really want to do that, but I'm not going to do it. Another thing, like I was mentioning, is with the steering wheel. The steering wheel feels really good in my hands, and you know, that's just something that I always notice with BMW steering wheels. They all just feel really good. And you know, this, and I know BMW like markets themselves as the ultimate driving machine, but it's true. It really is true. You know, I'm not going to turn the turn signal on because it's kind of obnoxious right now, but it really is the ultimate driving machine, you know, especially it's an attainable ultimate driving machine. You know, I know $70,000 is a lot of money, but that's attainable. You know, this is basically the budget Porsche. You know, BMWs are the vehicle that you get before going into like a 911. Like you buy an M4 before you can get the 911 because the 911 is just so much more expensive. But the M4 still has the handling. It still has the sound. It's the inline six sound. It still has the performance. And it has the comfort too. So that is why I think BMW is basically like the entry-level Porsche, because it's, you know, I don't want to sound like Porsche has something like an M4, because they don't. They don't have anything like an M440. But just listen. I don't know where I was going with that. Handling. I think it could benefit from some wider tires, because if you really wanted to push this thing around some turns and stuff, you're gonna want some wider tires. You know, with the 225 section tires, I was surprised to see 225 section tires. I would have expected at least a 245. Like I was expecting it to have a 245 in the front and a 275 in the back, and I was very shocked to see 225s. But like I said, I don't know where I was going with that Porsche statement, but I think some of you will kind of understand what I'm saying and where I'm going with that. But rides great. It really does in comfort mode. With the adaptive M suspension, if you want it to ride harsher and you want it to handle better, you can put it into sport mode. If you want it to be comfortable because you're just taking your wife to church, or you're taking your wife to dinner, you're taking your girlfriend or something like that, then you know, you want to put this thing into comfort mode. But it can do it all. Like I said, you want it comfortable, it'll be comfortable. You want it to ride firm, it'll be firm. It's an 8 Series. I couldn't tell if that was an M8, but it kind of looked like an M8, at least an M850. I love the way that this thing drives. It drives great. It's just a BMW. You know, if you've ever driven a BMW, a fast BMW, you just know. You know what I mean? And I'm going to end things off with that. That's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you learned anything from this video, if you enjoyed this video in any sort of capacity, please just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments, again, in particular, look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. That is what helps me do this as a job. So again, if you appreciated the video, do those 3 things. I would really appreciate it. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.